Hi you guys, it's me NeeCJae. Today I want to come to you with 5 simple makeup tips to look 10 years younger right now. If you're interested in seeing this video, keep on watching. With no makeup and my skincare is complete, my skin feels super hydrated, which I love. And I don't have time to show you all the skincare items and things that I use, but I do have a really great skincare regimen. I have bone dry, mature skin, so you always want to make sure you have a really good skincare regimen. And that goes for the morning, daytime, and a nighttime skincare regimen, okay? So yeah, that's first and foremost. You know I talk about this all the time. So my skin feels super hydrated. All right, and so now we're gonna go ahead and get started. The first tip, stop applying heavy foundations, okay? That is the key. If you know, I talk about using lightweight skincare and tints and things like that. I always talk about lightweight foundations if you want to wear them. Now, I really have stopped wearing a lot of heavy foundations. However, if there's a foundation that I really like, I know how to apply it. I've done this so many times and shown you how you can apply the makeup to look very light. And I will have everything that I talk about in the description box below, where you can actually take a look at some of my favorite foundations if that's what you like. And I do have a video, I'll link it up here somewhere, how you can actually make full coverage foundation look skin-like, okay? So I'm not gonna ramble on about that. One of the products that I love is by Merit. Oh my goodness. It is called the Uniform Tinted Mineral Sunscreen with the SPF of 45. And I usually like 50, but 45 will work, honey. I'm in the shade, let's see, 14. I can get my sunscreen and my complexion all in one, and I love it. And lately I've been using my hands because this is like a sunscreen, right? So I'll apply it with my hands. Let me just show you. I'm gonna use a little bit more because it's a sunscreen. It looks like this. Okay. Very nice. It feels very hydrating. It looks very natural. It gives me a hint of color without looking cakey and going into fine lines and wrinkles. That's very important. That's why heavy foundations is not as good for a mature skin like myself, because it can settle in for fine lines and wrinkles when applied the wrong way, okay? There is a way that you can wear this without it looking bad and settling, okay? This also goes for heavy concealers, okay? I'm big on that. You don't want to use heavy concealers either, okay? This goes into number 1. Heavy foundations and heavy concealers. You don't want to do it, because it can settle into fine lines and wrinkles and just make you look horrible older. You know, you have wrinkles where you're like, okay, I don't recall having these wrinkles here. I have this palette that's one of my favorite by Makeup Forever, all cream products, okay? You want to start using more cream products, you know. That really goes a long way when applying your makeup. Cream products, if you have dry skin like myself, a lot of powders will make you look cakey and settle into fine lines and wrinkles. Everything settles into fine lines and wrinkles now, okay? Everything. It's an investment because it is a little pricey. I believe it's like $80. This is pricey. But look, it has so many things in it. You can actually use this as a foundation if you want, very lightly to conceal if you like. You have a highlighter, you have blush, you have correctors, you have contours, everything that you need in here to complete your makeup look. That is what I'm saying. You know, you want simplicity, but you want products that work, and you want something that's on the go. So you won't have to take all day long trying to perfect your makeup to make it look perfect. That's not what we're trying to do, okay? So I just wanted to show you this because that is step number 2. I'm just going in blending. I'm just going to place someone with my brush, but I'm going to really do it with my hand right above my eyes, just a little bit. Any place where you need a little touch up here and there. That's why I love this little kit right here. You just apply it as needed. If you don't have anything that's going on with your eyes and things, then don't use it. That's very, very lightly is what I say. Very lightly. You may have a little bit of discoloration, things that you just need to touch up. You just apply it as needed. Look at that. Look how quick that was, okay? Apply it as needed. Sometimes my lids, they get a little darker than the rest of my face, especially around in this area. And I just want to take a little bit of my concealer and just blend it away. Now what I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows. So you don't want to use harsh products on your eyebrows. You don't want to use harsh blacks on your eyebrows, nor on your eyes under the bottom. It gives you a really, really harsh look, you know. And that's the thing. Everything that we do as a mature skinned woman. I'm 55 years old. For those of you that are new to my channel, I'm taking this Got to Be Glued because this is one of my favorite products that I found. It is called Got to Be Glued Brow and Edge Gel. It's a brow gel. I don't use it for any edges. I just use it for my brows, and it keeps my brows in place, and I just love it. It keeps them in place all day long, and just a little bit, and it doesn't take forever. As you see, my eyebrows are sparse. Back in the day, maybe in the 80s. Yeah, 80s, 90s era. My eyebrows in the 90s era, you know, you had them thin eyebrows. But if you like those thin eyebrows, that's fine. And you want to lift everything, that is another issue. You want to lift, okay? You want to make sure you are lifting. That's why I'm lifting these eyebrows. So yeah, I'm talking as I'm doing it, you know, going through my head with some of these things. And we'll go back over them. You want to lift your eyebrows. I lift everything. Everything. All products. Lifting. I like to apply my brow gel, wait a few moments, and then apply my brow pencil. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills in Soft Brown. I really like how natural this looks on my complexion because my hair is more of a brown. The really black brows, that is, you know, it makes you look harsh and older. I've seen that so much and I'm like, oh my goodness, it just makes you look older. I also use I use the soft brown and a gray because the gray just deepens it up at the end, toward the end, because, you know, your eyebrows go from light to dark, okay? Revant products are made specifically for older skin. And you don't see that a lot. You don't see a lot of companies that just are for mature skin. And when you do, you see the younger people advertising it. Isn't that weird? For our skin, but they're advertising it. Like, okay, really? That does not make me want to buy it. Your skin is perfect. You don't have to worry about loss of collagen, lifting everything. If you see me do my eyebrows, I'm lifting. I don't worry about my eyebrows as much. I tell that story all the time. When I worked at Estee Lauder, I was a counter manager for Estee Lauder, and one of my the ones that worked for me, she was like, what is taking you so long? Older lady, you know. So I just loved her so much, and she said, come on, we're about to open. I said, I'm coming. And I said, I'm trying to get these eyebrows to look alike. She was like, honey, they're never gonna look exactly alike. They're sisters, not twins. What a revelation. She's absolutely right. They're sisters, they're not twins. So now I don't take as much time with my eyebrows. And I went in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills, and now I'm going in with the gray. Sometimes I just like how the gray looks on the end. And this is by Revant. Oh my goodness, I love their brow pencils. I love their eyeliners. I love their blushes. I love all their products. I need to clean up my eyebrows a little bit around here because it looks a little whack. Okay. But anyway, yeah, I like that. And as you see, everything is pushed up. up, up, up. I like a fuller, thicker brow. In the 80s, you know, we was going for those little skinny brows. Yeah, we sure was. I'm sitting back here thinking about those little brows, and I'm like, wow. I just like to clean my brows up just a tad bit. Just a tad bit. But again, you want to pull everything up. Again, when you pull everything up, everything is lifted. You never want to do anything that's pulling your face down. You don't want a down, saggy look. Even your arches, when you're doing it, you just want to pull it up to make everything pull up, you know. You want that lifted, pull up effect look. Okay? I'm always talking about this because it's just important. I'm not trying to look younger than what I am. I don't want to look older than what I am either. I just want to look my age, you know. I want to look my age. If possible, if I can look younger, then I'm not going to argue with it. You know, I'm not going to argue with it at all. Let me just put this back up because I'm getting ready to go to some other things. All right. I forgot to put that on. Now for my eyeshadow, these days, I'm not wearing a whole bunch of eyeshadow. I like these little eyeshadow sticks by Thrive Cosmetics. That's what I've been doing lately. That is what I've been doing a lot lately. Now I have hooded eyes, so sometimes you'll see the little concealer, if I use, may crease up a little bit, but that's okay. I like to just apply a little bit of something to really add to my complexion because, you know, just makeup in general can just wash you out. Concealer, makeup, these things can wash you completely out. So these are the two colors for Thrive Cosmetics. Again, I would put them in here. I just love these little sticks. It just gives you a little bit of color instantly and easily. I just take my little brush and just kind of blend it in. I'm just blending it around a little faster. Not trying to make this video super long because this literally takes me no time. So I don't want this video to be super long. But as you can tell, see, it gives me a little natural look. If you want more, add more. Just add a little bit more if you want a little bit more. But I do it right here where that hood is. Right here. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Cream products work so much better for my skin now. And I just did a video on a dupe products. It had a lot of powder products that were in that video. But yeah, those are for people that, you know, maybe their skin isn't as dry as mine. But usually as you're getting older, you want to stay away from a lot of powder products. That's the next thing. You don't want to use a lot of powder products onto your skin. That's why what I'm doing now is just a little different from the norm, okay? My eyes, this is a eyeliner by Revant. I love their eyeliners, okay? So I'm just going to add a little bit up under first my lash line. I like to do that because it's tight lining and it makes your lashes look thicker and fuller, okay? We're about almost halfway through. And what I like about using these gel liners is that they don't transfer to my bottom lid. Because again, I talk about wearing black eyeliner. I like to wear colors, the blues. You may be a soft black if you just have to wear black. A soft black maybe, okay? A dark brown, blues, taupes, purples. That's really pretty. Purple. I love that. Browns, blues. Something other than black on your waterline. It just ages you. It really, really does. What I like to do is use my lash curler. And this is by BK Beauty to just lift. Again, like I said, everything is lifting. I love a tubing mascara because tubing mascaras, they just go in them individual lashes and just really grip to it without all the smearing, smudging, all of that. I think it's great for mature eyes. I don't know why I just did that. I don't usually do it like that because it causes a lot of air. I'm just talking and doing things. Oh my goodness. So what I do, I like to pull, nothing pulling down. Sometimes I hit myself in the eye when I do this. I pull this hood up and proceed with my mascara. And that's another thing. I know people love their false lashes, and that is fine. But sometimes as we wear the really big lashes, it can age us because it can have our eyes looking closed and it just covers up your whole eye sometimes. It just ages you. I mean, do what you like. That's my whole thing. You can do what you like and what makes you look better, you know, how you feel. But sometimes the bigger ones can really age you. I wear lashes occasionally, but I like to wear the really, really natural looking ones. But I prefer my natural lashes. And I love mascaras like this because it helps to pull those lashes out. As you see, I have straggly lashes. But mascara like this really pulls out your lashes. Now look at this. So far, so good. And you can do a wing if you like around your eyes and things like that. Sometimes I do. But what I like to do now, I go in and take me a little bit of maybe a brown or a black or even you can use like if you have a cream blush, you can go in and kind of just exaggerate your eyes a little bit, add some down the bottom just to, you know, right down here. You just want to take everything upward. This is what I've been doing lately. Or I just take a deep brown liner and do it. And it just lifts everything up. See, I'm loving how this looks so far. See, everything is lifted. Everything is lifted. Next thing after the eyes, after we have the mascara and the eyes, and you can just do your mascara to your liking, you know, or if this is the place where you like to wear your falsies, go right ahead. I'm just giving you some of the things that works for me in hopes that it works for you. I'll put a little bit more as I'm talking. All right. And that's what you have to do. You have to just learn what works for you. And do what works for you, and it's okay. I like to add a little bit now of this brown right to my lash line. It's cream. Right there, right? It gives me a little something, yet it's natural looking, you know? Now let me just blend that in a little bit. Everything goes a little up. Even just with this, it just looks so natural, but it gives you a little something, you know, especially if you like wearing eyeshadow and you're just like, oh, I just love wearing eyeshadow. Try some. If it's not Thrive's Cosmetics, try some kind of makeup eyeshadow sticks and see what you think about them. I really love the Thrive Cosmetics. I love it. I love it. And I always like to take the one that has a little bit of shimmer and just put it right here. See, it has a little bit, right, like a little bit of shimmer right there. And put it right in the corners of your eyes because everything makes it look awake. Just opens it up some. And you can drag it on up if you like, you know. Drag it on up. Right on up to this part. It's so much easier with these sticks instead of using you can always take your hand and just, you know, blend it out where you need to. All right, now we're going back into this palette. That's why I say I love this palette. If you see any kind of discoloration, you just apply a little bit with your finger. And another thing that you see a lot of the younger YouTubers doing, is applying it like 3 shades lighter than your complexion. You don't want to do that as we age, okay? You want to use the cream concealer. You want to use it maybe like almost your complexion. If you have to go lighter, just maybe 1 up, not 2 and 3. That can age you. And another thing, I don't go all the way up to my eyes because it can settle into fine lines and wrinkles and really make you look older. That's the part right there you don't want to do. That's it. If you do not have any circles or any darkness, you can skip it altogether. You don't have to. I saw a little bit of darkness right here because I use eye cream for puffiness in my skincare regimen in the daytime and at night. So sometimes I don't have puffiness, but every now and then I may have a little darkness. Every now and then if I don't get good sleep. And I've been doing so much work lately, I understand. Now, you want to stay away from heavy powders. That's another tip. You don't want heavy powders. You don't want powders at all. Like, a lot of times, I'm not even wearing powders. I may use setting spray. Say, oh my goodness, I love setting powders. I just want to use them. They really, okay, I understand, but you need to use one that's finely milled. I usually lately just been using like a little bit of setting spray up under it. But let me just show you. If you must use a setting powder, one of my top and my favorites, finely milled. I just feel like these 2 setting powders are made for mature skin. These are my 2 favorite. I always love them. And these are the only ones lately that I've been using. If I can find some more that's a little bit better, I definitely will let you know. But these are my 2 favorite. The one from Hourglass, and it is the Ambient Diffuse Light. And this is the Charlotte Tilbury, the Airbrush Flawless Finish. This is it. And I don't use it all over my face anymore. I may just take it, either one, tap off, lightly, maybe in the areas that you want to use. But that's it. Just in the areas, that's it. You don't want any more than that. If that's all you want in this area. Nothing else. Nothing, okay? Now, we've done with the eyes. Now we want to go in with the bronzer. And again, I have a cream bronzer by Tower 28. And you can also use the brown bronzer in here. Or, the contour you don't want to do any heavy contouring there at this time. That is not what you want to do. Not anymore. You just want to take one of the light ones. Or you can just blend them all. You can just take what you like and just lightly contour. You're working it in the hairline. Okay. And another one, like I said, is by Tower 28. This one is called, I can't even see it. Beet Coat, Sweet Coat. Let me see what this is. Need these glasses. Best Coast. Best Coast by Tower 28, okay? And you just need a little bit. You don't need a whole bunch. All we're doing is warming up the skin, giving it a little bit of something, okay? That's basically it. Now, this takes me all of no time to do, okay? Just warming up the skin. All right. And that's what I like to do, just warm up the skin. Even I come right up in here a little bit too with the bronzer, okay? And I do come down with the bronzer on my cheeks, very lightly what's left over. I just kind of use that to warm up my cheeks a little bit. Use a little bit on my nose, whichever's left, okay? I haven't been going really crazy now with the bronzer because it just gives me a little bit of something. The cream products, in my opinion, just go so much further. Now, what I like to also do is use blush. You can use the blush in here, which is fine. Also, I have used it, but one of my favorite affordable looking blushes that I love is by e.l.f. I love it because it's in this peachy coral. This one in here, it's not as peachy corally. I can use it. It's more of a pinky type color. It's another blush too. I think some of the other stuff is pretty. But this is one of my favorite ones. And I also have one by Milani. Okay, I will link them in here, but this is a little bit more corally to me. I think corals look great on all skin types, okay? All skin types. I just love the liquid blushes. And you can just put a, I like to put a couple, a little bit right here, up in this area. I like to start my blushes up here. Some people say they like them down here. I do not. As I've gotten older, I don't want the rosy red cheeks, okay? I do want a flush of color. Now, and you can apply it up here if you want to circle it around, but I do give myself a little little bit more. I don't like to go down here at all. However, if you want to go around here, you know, because blush is supposed to make you look like you're blushing, a natural blush. And you can thin this out because sometimes it comes out too much. You don't want to look like you have a sun rash. And I put a little bit on my nose area, just a little bit. But let me show you a trick. If you use too much on this, right? See how it looks, makes me look like, oh, I just got so much on. Take your damp beauty sponge and just lightly damp and just go over it. This blends it into the skin and makes it look so soft, so natural. Okay? Oh, I like that. And some people, you can go up here if you want to have that blush, but do not overdo it because that can go wrong real easy, okay? Really stay high up this area. This is the high point, okay? That's where you want to stay. You want to stay in that area. Give yourself a soft, natural looking glow. A little bit on the nose, you know, just a little bit. But blend everything out. Have it looking really soft. Okay? Again, the wet or damp beauty sponge is your friend. You can always go and fix anything. Just tap out the excess. Shear it out some, okay? And that is the blush. I am loving it so far. I'm liking what I see. And I am using the lip pencil by MAC called Night Moth. And just adding a little bit right here. These days I don't go all the way to the corner because again, when you do that, it brings your mouth down, right? I know this pencil looks a little red. I'm going to go over it. You're not going to really see the pencil line. But it's older, you don't want to go all the way down here. It just droops your mouth, and you don't want that. Now, I love matte lipsticks. I love them, okay? But lately, I've been adding a little bit of gloss on them. I add some. This is a matte lipstick from Dose of Colors. I've had it for a while. I just love this one. And I am going over that line, as you can tell. Some people think that wearing matte lipsticks, it makes you look older because it's more drying. It is drying, but I have a sugar lip routine that I do almost weekly. Every 2 or 3 days, I scrub my lips with a sugar scrub. Keep them nice and soft. And it helps me to be able to wear these type of lipsticks, which I love. It's another one by Too Faced called Melted Metallics. It goes on, but it looks shiny. And this is the one I put on as well. I put 2 on. I just like the contrast on this. If I want to, just add a little lipstick. Because this one gives me a more metallic. You can wear a little gloss on it. Let me just put a little bit. Okay. And you know what? I forgot. This is basically the look. I forgot to add my highlighter. I always like to add a little bit of highlighter right on the cheekbones. Just a little bit. And what it does, it just gives you a nice glow within. Not much. That's why I love the cream highlighters. Oh my goodness. In this, any kind of cream highlighter, I love. It just gives you a natural without going overboard, right? Without going overboard. We already got the blush on. We don't want to go overboard. Well, again, we want everything to look natural. I spray. So let's go over everything. The first tip is you don't want to use heavy foundations or heavy concealers. You want everything to be lightweight. Tinted moisturizers, foundation tints are perfect. That's what you want to wear. Everything you want is lightweight, nothing heavy to settle into fine lines and wrinkles that can age you drastically. Number 2, no powders, no setting powders. You know, I know it's a big jump sometimes from using setting powders on your skin, but you don't have to, okay? Now, if you have oily skin, you may want to use a little bit, but you still want to stay from any kind of powders that when you apply them, they're making your face look cakey and settling it into fine lines or wrinkles. For if you want to use a little bit, use very finely milled setting powders. The ones that I recommend, again, is by Hourglass and Charlotte Tilbury. These are the ones. They're a little pricey, but they absolutely work, and that's what you want to use, okay? Nothing that's heavy that's going to settle into fine lines and dry you out. You don't want anything drying your face out, especially as we age. The next tip is you want everything lifted. You want lifted like we did the eyebrows. You want your face to look lifted. You don't want your face to, you know, everything drooping down, your eyes drooping. That's why we lifted the lashes. We lifted with the eyeshadow. I got some on teeth. Why didn't y'all tell me? Anyway, we lift it. We lift it with even the corners of your mouth. You don't want anything drooping. You want everything lifted. Even the blush placement, high, lifted. Tip number 4, you want to avoid using harsh eyeliners that make you look older, and brow pencils. You don't want to use black on your eyebrows, okay? You just don't. If you have to, soft blacks, okay? Browns, taupes, charcoal or gray. You know, I have a pencil that's here by Revant that is gray, but it looks more charcoal, and I use 2 of them for my brows, okay? So yeah, things that you don't want anything to make your skin look harsh, okay? Even on your waterline. You don't want to use black eyeliners. They can age you drastically. You want everything to look soft, natural. And number 5 is very important. If you can start incorporating cream products into your makeup routine, it makes a big difference as we age. You want to use cream type blushes, cream bronzers, products that will not dry out your skin. Is very, very important, okay? And I promise you, you will see a big difference in your makeup game. I'm telling you, it can take literally 10 years off of your face by just doing these 5 little simple steps, 5 little things that can improve your makeup game drastically. If you've tried this and you see that it works, please let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about it. So anyway, guys, thank you so very much for just taking time out to watch this video. If you like these type of videos, please hit that like button and share this video with somebody. It really helps me out a lot when you like this video and share it, okay? It really helps my channel. So anyway, guys, thank you so very much for taking time out to watch this video. I really appreciate it. Peace and love until next time.